Hey folks, good morning. Troy Dooley here. Just got back from a great morning breakfast. Met with my friend Richard. He owns a local business here in town, and we just had a great time. There was just a couple of us there this morning, but it caused me to really look at where we're going. Richard's been divorced for quite a few years, lives partially his time here and partially in Thailand. He's got a beautiful baby daughter, about 18, 19, just had her own baby. It's fun to listen to him talk. But it got me thinking about the romance and the passion that men are looking for. And I laughed as I was studying this last night, because I thought women have these fantasies, women have these passions, these desires. Being married to a romance writer, I read every one of her romances. I understand about the hero and the hero and the heroine and the hero and all that good stuff. But what is it? What is it that men are looking for? Why is it that men start out as that knight on a white horse coming in to rescue the dame, but yet somewhere in the middle of all of it, we become bored, we become dissatisfied, we become complacent. Sometimes we start wondering, wanderlust. It's because men were created as conquerors. But at the same time, what causes us to look somewhere else for that romance and that passion? Why can't we be happy with one mate? What is it that causes over 50% of men to have affairs, to get a divorce, to move on to something else? What is it that causes a woman to get dissatisfied and start looking for another knight to come in and sweep her off her feet? These are questions that I think we should look at. What is it? When you flip back a few weeks as we've been talking about this, and you look at the secrets that men keep. You look at those hidden feelings, those hidden desires that they don't share with their significant other. Sometimes they don't share with anybody. What is it that causes that? Well, I got to thinking. I was reading through John Eldridge's book, Wild at Heart. I was reading Steve Aldridge's book here, Secrets That Men Keep. And as I started looking at it, I started thinking that, I think Steve's got it right. He says one of the reasons that men seem to be looking for something else, that men aren't satisfied, is because of the culture. The root cause is that most of the time culture just talks about the cause, not really the cause, but the symptoms of things. And when you think about this for a minute, you see things out there where they tell you men need to be beta, they need to be more feeling, they need to be more understanding, and I agree with all that. But you don't change the way men are created. Men are created to explore, to be pioneers, to try new things. And I think when it comes to passion and romance, both parties get so at ease with each other, so complacent with each other, that they assume things. I think women, and ladies, please don't get upset, but I think that as a whole, women seem to let themselves go. When you're dating, you're dressing in a way that is going to attract that man. You're putting on your makeup. You're wearing that sexy perfume. You're acting like ladies. Don't get me wrong here. Men are the same way. They take time to comb their hair, brush their teeth. They're working out. But then everybody gets married, and they blame it on life. Oh, well, life got to us. We had kids and all that. I disagree. I've seen women out there that have plenty of kids, but yet they've kept their bodies in shape. I've seen men out there that bust their butt, come home, and they're still in shape. I'm in the middle of a weight management system myself. I've lost 12 pounds in the first month of the year, and our goal is to lose another 40. But as I've studied this, I started to realize, what? We let ourselves down. All of a sudden, the woman that we fell in love with has become a dull, negative nag. The man that she fell in love with has become a dull, negative, disillusioned crybaby. And all of a sudden, we've become complacent. We find something to fill the void. For some men, it's working longer hours, working harder hours. For some women, it's putting all of their energy into their kids, because their kids care. Their kids will always tell them thank you. Sometimes men seem to tend to lean towards that powerful woman that's feeding their ego at work and telling them what a great person they are. And boy, I wish, if I was married to somebody like you, I would make you happy. women start looking around in different websites and chat rooms, and all of a sudden there's somebody online that's fulfilling that dream, that fantasy of saying, well, you're just misunderstood. You know, if I was there, it'd be different. I'd be helping you with the kids. I would rub your back. I wouldn't go to sleep. You know, I wouldn't just worry about my needs. And all of a sudden these couples separate. I think sometimes that there's been a major shift in the way we even look at marriage. Everything has become instant gratification. Nobody looks at long-term effects. I see this in business a lot. You know, they don't even put business plans together anymore. It's sad, but this is what I see. You know, I think we've got to look at this. We have a false image of what's important out there. We tend to look at the outward instead of the inward. Now, I'm a firm believer outward's important. I married one of the sexiest, hottest women in the world. So I believe that that is important. But I also believe that there's that root that you fall in love with. See, it's one thing when you fall in lust. Everybody does it. They got that infatuation, that puppy love, whatever you call it. But it's after that. It's when that true bonding, that true friendship comes together. If they can think, see, I don't have a desire to go out and have an affair. And one day I realized most men don't have desires to go out and have an affair. Affairs come to them. They let their guard down. They get themselves in the wrong position. Women don't have the idea, I'm going to go have an affair. Something has led up to it. Something wasn't fulfilled. You know, Chapman calls it the love language. Somebody's love language was not fulfilled. That's the key. That's what we have to think about. Folks, when you're going through this, you need to understand that there's three different circles that you can look at. There's passion, peak performance, and purpose. And if you interlock all those circles, it's that dead center right there that you're looking for. You're looking as a man to be able to have the passion in your life, the peak performance in your life, the purpose in your life, because when they all line up together and all three circles are intertwined, then you're going to have your passion, you're going to be in peak performance, the purpose, everything lines up in one. And that's when you're driving forward. Ladies, when your men have all their circles lined up, when they're passionate, when they're in their peak performance, when they're focused on their purpose and it's not all separated out, you'll find they're happier. You'll find that they're taking care of your needs before they take care of theirs. You'll find that there's that creativity that comes back. See, I think in most relationships the reason that the passion and the romance leaves is because everything comes dull and boring. Okay, it's Sunday night, we're going to have that wham bam, thank you ma'am, everything's over, back to work. There's no creativity anymore. There's no what if. There's no spontaneous passion, which automatically means that in men's cases, they sometimes start to fantasize about what it was or what it could be or with somebody else. With women, they realize this is just a chore. There's no love making involved. There's no two connecting involved. Just an important part of life that everybody needs to realize. So what I would say is if you want to do something right, reconnect. Figure out a way this Valentine's coming up here to be spontaneous. Figure out something new and creative. Make her happy, boys and ladies. Show your husband you still have that same passion you did on your wedding night. That same creativity, that same fun love that whole first year of your marriage. Hey folks, live life like it's an epic adventure. We'll see you tomorrow.